Welcome, low ego action heroes. This is Debbie Levitt from DeltaCX.com. We're a full service CX and UX consultancy. We do projects, training, and consulting, so check us out. And welcome to our usual Friday stream for practicing critical thinking. I always hope I've spelled that right on the screen. Hello, welcome. Why am I not getting the message in my chat interface? Hello. I can't read that from here. Marla? Maria? I'm so sorry. I don't have my glasses on. But anyway, every Friday we are here live and I go through some things that you have sent in. And if you're wondering, how do I send stuff in? Go and take a look at deltacx.com/links. That's got everything you could want to know. Hello from New York City. Hello, Faisal. So that's got everything you could want to know about the stream. Hello, Abdul Bazid is back. How am I doing? I'm happy it's Friday. I'm ready for a weekend. How's everybody else doing? Oh, now it's not showing up here. Let's try reloading what's on the screen. Just having a wonderful technology week and look forward to sleeping. Oh yes, and of course it wouldn't be the stream without the low ego action heroes who are donating a few dollars a month through YouTube by clicking join. Totally optional, but always appreciated. I reinvested in my streaming software and delicious chocolate chips, which I think I ate today, but I'm having trouble remembering. It's been such a weird week. So hi, Manzir. Marla. Sorry, I hope I got that right. Yeah, happy it's Friday. Let's see. Yes, thanks to the low ego action heroes. Thanks to anybody on YouTube who, of course, is subscribed. I'm always looking to get more subscribers on YouTube, just so we can be helping more people with CX and UX. So we've got 4 things that people sent in today for us to break into little pieces and think critically about. So I'm going to flip my screen over to that. And let's take a look at what y'all sent in. Let's see, that should get us to the right screen. Yep, there we go. So here's me, the optional tip jar, the chat room above my head. I'm not too sure why it's not showing, what's the word I'm looking for? YouTube stuff. I hope I'm not missing YouTube comments today because that would be something. Let's check. Yeah, whatever. I'm not logged in. This is a private browser. So here we go. Here's the live session. Did I miss any chats? Nope, nobody's saying anything. All right, all the actions on LinkedIn today. And now it's getting meta. It's me watching me. Okay, so let's start with this. Yeah, weird week for sure. So let's start with this one. Now, this was a TikTok video that someone sent me, and thanks to the people who know that I don't use TikTok or Facebook, and they download these things and send them to me. So this was basically a guy who I've never seen or heard of before. This was a short, thank you, Kayleen. Yeah, YouTube Inception. I don't know him. And basically he was giving PowerPoint advice. Hey, Pier Mario. I know him. Hold on. I think I'm accidentally coming out of my own speakers as well. Let's mute that. All right. And basically, it was a nice little video where he basically said, instead of packing a PowerPoint with every possible graph and chart and reference and piece of evidence you have for something, it's best for your PowerPoint deck to just hit the main key points and to have slides that aren't as busy, and then to have a section in your PowerPoint or Google Slides or Keynote or whatever called Appendix. Ooh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, hi, Monsieur. You're everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. So, yeah, basically he says, have a section at the end of your slide deck that says appendix, and then put all of your reference information, your details, your supporting evidence. And that's something that I've been doing for a long time. So this certainly wasn't new to me, but it might be new to you. And I would agree that this is a good idea. You can't go wrong with it. And he gives a really good example. He says if you're going through a presentation with your manager or some leaders or whoever, and you're just going through the key points and the main things you want people to know and the top level stuff and the action stuff. And then if someone in the room says, well, prove that, or how do you know that's true, or what data do we have on that? You can say, oh, let me jump to a slide I have in the appendix that has further information on that. And that's the way to go, because that way, especially after meetings or presentations where you're giving the deck out, people can easily see what was the meat of the presentation and the key action items and the things to know. And they can always ignore the appendix or check the appendix if they would like further information. So that's absolutely a technique that I use. It's a good idea. If you use TikTok, I guess you can check this guy out. I'm not too sure if I'm reading this correctly, but it looks like his name is The CL Will, WILL. I apologize if I have that wrong. Yeah, I don't use TikTok, but this guy gave you a very good idea that you should use with your decks. All right, thanks for that. I'll give him 5 dogs out of 5. Yes. This was a good piece of advice. The rare good piece of advice. Okay, next we have a long LinkedIn post, but I'm going to read it anyway. The photo says that this is maybe a door-to-door salesman, possibly in America, since I know Terminix from America, and basically Terminix wants to spray your house if you have termites or other pests. So they're like a pest spraying removal type of service, usually for household bugs. So he's saying, I met a sales ninja. My doorbell rings. I open the door. Hi, I'm Greg with Terminix. We're servicing several homes in your neighborhood. Do you have a brief moment? And he says, sure. Okay, so I would assume that this guy wants to talk about pest removal or termites, or he's concerned he has termites, because otherwise, if that guy comes to my door, I say, no, thank you. Or I don't even open the door, honestly, just for my own safety. So, this is foreign to me, opening a door to a stranger. What? So then he says, understand how I'm getting the job done, in parentheses. And then he says, the salesman says, thanks. How are you currently handling pest control? Do you have a service, or are you doing it yourself? And the guy who posted says, we're not doing anything. Okay, so now he says, no assumptions, see if there's a problem. So the salesman seems to be fishing, and he says, sounds like you never see any bugs. And the guy posting admits, occasionally we see tiny ants in the kitchen because it's no big deal because my wife uses this liquid to get rid of them. Now he's saying, illuminate the cost of inaction. The salesman says, those sound like ghost ants. They can be a serious nuisance because they're known to nest inside the home. How often do they come back? And Josh says, every few months or so. Now he says the salesman should proactively address objectives. And the salesman says, what's been your experience using a pest control service? And the author says, we had one but stopped because we didn't see any bugs and we were paying $125 a month. And then he says, makes me think I was overpaying. Wow, $125 a month, says the salesman. The author leans forward, says, what do you offer? Clearly explains service and price, proactively addresses pet objection, illuminates a spider web problem I'm not aware of, and salesman says, since we service several homes in your neighborhood, you can get our pet safe service, which includes interior, exterior, and removal of spider webs around your gutter for $49 a month. And he says, let's do it. No pressure, no assuming, no persuading, no overcoming. This is a sales ninja. Okay, I'm not sure why this got sent to me, but because I'm not a sales expert, but let's talk about it. So basically, I think this does sound like a good sales experience. Now, obviously, the person who wrote this was already open to being sold to because, as I said, if I see a pest control guy at my door, I am not opening the door. If I did not call for that person to be there, I am not opening the door for my own safety. I don't care what the person looks like. I don't care how old they are. I don't care gender. I am not opening the door for safety. I'm usually not interested in pest control service. So I'm not too sure why this was sent to me. This doesn't totally seem like CX or UX, other than it's a part of CX to have a good sales experience. And I think this is a good sales experience. I think good sales experiences are rare. I was a little surprised in the story when the guy said we didn't see any bugs and we were paying $125 a month. I actually thought the salesman was going to say, well, then that $125 a month was worth it because you weren't seeing any bugs. But instead, he just said, hey, we can do that or better, and we charge $49 a month. I'm not too sure what I can respond to. I'm not sure if any of you watching would like to respond to this. I would say it does seem like a good sales experience. But again, you have to start with someone who is open to being sold to. If I'm not open to being sold to, I'm not answering your call. I'm not staying on the phone with you if I do answer the call. I'm not opening the door. You can try to shout at me through the door. So ultimately, a sales experience starts with someone who is open to being sold to. I think that's getting increasingly rare, but that's just my opinion there. So I'm not too sure what I'm supposed to react to here, but there you go. Maybe someone just wanted me to advertise Terminix, or, so let me clearly say, not sponsored. I have no relationship with Terminix, and I'm not sure I even used them when I lived in America. All right. Let's take a look at what Daniel Ekelberg, who's been on our show, posted a few days ago. He says, small problems can be worse than big problems. Why? Because we're forced to deal with big problems. We tend to ignore the small ones, even though they hurt us. I think that could be true, but it's all different degrees of stuff. A small problem can have a big effect. For example, let's say one of your shoes is just a bit too tight in one place and it doesn't stretch because it's made of artificial leather. It doesn't stop you from walking around, but if you walk a lot, your foot starts to hurt. You'll still do the necessities, but you might stop walking for exercise and pleasure. As a result, you'll get out of shape and you'll have less social contact. You'll feel more isolated. So the small problem of a tiny bit of rubbing in one shoe could cause big life problems. It's important to deal with small problems, preferably as soon as they arise when we're most aware of them. If you ignore a small problem long enough, the effect continues and snowballs, but you become desensitized to the source and it becomes invisible. Should you prioritize big problems first? Not always. For example, let's say that at home, your living room is highly cluttered with stuff you don't need, so it looks terrible, and your storage room is also filled to the ceiling with things you don't need. The living room is a bigger problem. But the storage room is more foundational because you need the space in your storage room to easily declutter your living room. So you should prioritize the smaller problem because it's more foundational. The golden rule here is to prioritize foundations. Shoe comfort is foundational. Prioritize foundations. Shoe comfort is foundational. A functional storage room is foundational because they have a domino effect impact on important things. What does anybody think of that? Anybody watching live on LinkedIn, YouTube, even Twitch or Twitter? Any thoughts on that? Any response? Disagreement, agreement with what Daniel's saying about big and small problems? I'll give you a little bit for you to tell me what you think. Anybody? Am I still on the air? Maybe it's just me. No opinions? Thinking? Am I missing? Am I live? Do I exist? I appear to exist. Here's me watching me. Yes, I am live, but nobody has any comments on this. All right. Well, I think that my main reaction to this post is a couple of things. Number one, I think people are sometimes not good at knowing what's a small problem and what's a big problem. I think a small problem can easily become a big problem, and it's all relative. How often have you said to someone, "Oh, get over it"? They had a big problem. You decided it was a small problem. You said something kind of not helpful to them, like, come on, just get past it. Don't worry about it. How often have you said, "Don't worry about it" to a worried person? To them, it was a big problem. To you, it was a smaller problem. Everything is going to be in the eye of the beholder. Numer says big problems are a reflection of small ones. That's also possible too. Maybe a big problem is a small problem blown out of proportion or perceived in a certain way. Maybe a big problem is a collection of small problems that all relate to each other. I do think he makes a good point about thinking about the foundations. I think that with critical thinking, we can ask ourselves whether we have a big problem or a small problem or multiple ones. What can I get done today? What can I change today? That's sometimes what I ask myself when I'm facing a problem. Sure, I want to have a plan, and sure, I want to think about the longer term, especially if it's a bigger problem. But sometimes I'll start with, what can I do today? So, for example, some of you know that my internet service has been bad here at the house, and my boyfriend and I are trying to decide what we're going to do about that. We have a couple of options. Most of them are a little bit more than we would like to pay, but we can either pay 30 euros to have them claim that they can remotely do something with our modem, or 300 euros to replace the modem. Is this a small problem? Is this a big problem? To me, it's small to medium. I mean, internet, not a big life problem, but hey, we both run our own businesses and we count on being online 92 hours a day. This is how we make our money. If we don't have good internet connections, we don't make our money. So, what's a small problem for some people is a bigger problem for us. Now, we have to ask ourselves, what can we do today? Today, we could pay them the 30 euros to try to jumpstart our modem back into working better. And I guess I'm willing to pay that and try it. But ultimately, we do need a longer term solution, which is probably to replace our modem, which also means paying money we didn't want to. So I think in addition to what Daniel's saying about thinking about foundation problems and problems that can lead to other problems, we have to think about prioritizing our problems, and we have to think about, what can I do today? And what can't I do today? And if I can't do something today, you have to forgive yourself and let go and keep going until you can do something. Anupam says, make your bed first thing in the morning strategy, but it depends on, does making a bed really give you a sense of accomplishment, or would you rather get to work and finish your day early? Yeah, I've almost never made my bed in my life. I couldn't see the point of it. I'm just going to go mess it up later. Why? Anupam says, some people don't sweat the small stuff. Others want to manage everything that comes their way. Yeah, this is going to be very personal. But I think ultimately Daniel has given us some interesting things to think about. And then maybe the next time we bump into a small, medium, or large problem, maybe we'll ask ourselves some questions about what's the foundation here? Is this a problem that could get bigger? Do I need to do something about this now? Can this be postponed? Should this be postponed? Maybe it can, but it shouldn't be. So, and what's its priority to me in my life? How important is this? So, yeah, so I think it's an interesting post from Daniel. I'm not sure I 100% agree, but I think it's given us some nice food for thought, which he's usually good at. So thanks to Daniel for, I don't know who sent in the post. It could have been him, but thanks to Daniel for the post and whoever sent it in. Next, we have what appears to be a blog post from almost a year ago from Adobe XD, which is certainly not a source of information I normally rely on, but let's see what they're trying to say. This is categorized as information architecture, and it says digital content is about what people are trying to do. And it's written by Bailey Lewis, who I don't know, so I can't say anything good or bad about Bailey. I'm in a private browser, so I guess I can say yes to cookies, though why? Why do you need cookies for me to read a blog post? You know, critical thinking. This whole cookie thing is so stupid. Okay, so I think we can start by looking at the title and say that Bailey is probably telling us something that we here at Delta CX already know, and you who joined the channel probably already know, which is it's important to adjust everything in the user and customer experience for people's tasks. We talk a lot about task analysis here. I know that overlay doesn't look good on white. We talk a lot about task analysis, and that's making sure that we have done the right research to understand people, tasks, decisions, priorities, things like that, so that we can adjust everything for them, cater to them, meet and exceed their needs, and that includes content. So let's see what she's saying. I didn't have time to read this ahead of time, so let's skim it together quickly. From the moment we form our letters, we're taught written communication to other humans follows a set structure. Really? We craft what we want others to know in words, sentences, and paragraphs. Is she saying that's incorrect? Because I feel like she's setting us up to say this is wrong. The person receiving our information takes time to understand what we've written word for word. Words we are taught are something to be read. Words. So this is an example of someone who probably wrote their article and then didn't read it out loud. Because I think when you read an article, or really anything you write, a presentation, your resume, your portfolio, I think when you read it out loud, you hear some things that maybe could be improved. Words we are taught are something to be read. I think that's just an awkward sentence, and I think that sometimes I point these things out because some of you want to be better at writing articles, and also she's writing about content, so I would hope that she's put a little bit of extra care into her own content. Didn't mean to burn her there, but you know, there you go. When it comes to the vast majority of your digital content, the above couldn't be any further from the truth. Okay, that's where I'm starting to just not get this. What is going on here? Are you saying we don't use words, sentences, and paragraphs? I still don't know what written communication following a set structure means. Do you mean we learn the grammar rules of our own language? I'm not sure what you mean. So when you say this isn't true, I'm not sure what you're disagreeing with. Are you saying that people who receive our information do not understand it word for word, and that words are not supposed to be read? We don't read words? I'm confused. I really don't know what's going on here, and I'm just in the second paragraph. Now, typically, if I bump into an article like this, I normally just leave it because I assume this person probably doesn't have anything to say that is going to resonate with me. And I might be wrong. I might be prejudging it. But especially if you're going to write about writing, then I expect your writing to be pretty compelling and to make sense to me immediately and not to leave me wondering, what is she talking about, or what does she mean here? And here we are in the first and second paragraphs, and I don't get it. She says, almost nothing we learned early on in our lives about writing and reading will help us create digital experiences that others find useful, usable, or enjoyable. Scrap all that. Okay, so I tend to see a lot of clickbaity things that are like, forget everything you've ever known about breathing, you know, everything you've ever learned about thinking is wrong. And I think that is inflated. I think that that's strange. And what does that mean? Everything, almost nothing we learned early in our lives will help us create digital experiences. Are you sure? I learned early in my life critical thinking, deductive reasoning, logic, making a good argument, and caring for people and trying to find what will make them feel like they've succeeded. So I don't get it. And then it says digital content isn't something you read, it's something you do. Now, again, this is hypothetically, because it means nothing to me right now, I can only assume this is a setup for more of the article. But I do already feel a bit lost, and I do suggest if you're writing that you use the first sentences of your article to really grab people, not with something clickbaity, not with something so broad it's hard to understand, but with something that people can really feel connected to, maybe say, yeah, I've experienced that. So far, she's just telling me everything I've ever learned didn't prepare me for anything that I'm doing. Scrap everything I've ever learned about reading and writing. What? Let users' tasks guide the way. We agree with that here on this channel. Your users come to you to accomplish a specific task or set of tasks. When users engage with digital content that guides them effortlessly through the thing they came to do. Whoa, hold on. Wait, what? Wait. We know here at Delta CX, YouTube channel, that it's really important for experiences to be intuitive. People shouldn't be guided through an experience, software, apps, websites, through the content. The content shouldn't have to guide people through the experience. The experience should be intuitive, and the content will be giving them the information they came to get there. I'm not sure I want to imagine that content guides people. I think that's sometimes a UX mistake. When users engage with digital content that guides them effortlessly through the thing they came to do, they succeed in completing their task and might even enjoy themselves while they're doing it. This spells great success and makes people loyal. All right, well, it's a little bit of jumping to conclusions. If digital content pays no attention to what real humans are actually trying to do, users will struggle and often fail to complete their task at all. This is sadly the typical case. In fact, this lack of attention to user tasks in digital content is a main reason so many sites and apps are the opposite of friendly, helpful, and successful. Am I still live? Anybody else want to comment on this while I'm reading? It's a quiet show today, y'all. We usually get dozens of comments. Types of common tasks. Almost all common tasks can be categorized into one of three types: immediate action, researching, or reading. Immediate action. Your users are trying to go as quickly as they can. They're scanning the screen, looking for the word or phrase they need, and check off the task. Immediate tasks are most frequent and overlooked. Detriment of sites and apps are the powerhouse. They're critical. They're the tasks that let people buy, join, contact. If you fail here, you fail to do business. Digital content will be as short as possible, sure. Use familiar, plain-spoken words. Appear in direct proximity and context to the action itself. Present as an incorporated part of the thing someone needs to click or engage with. Sure, I can't disagree with that. This person says, I love Scott's cheap flights and they're doing this right. Take immediate action. I'm scanning the screen for the task I want to complete. Every option on this screen gives me immediate tasks to complete, from getting alerts to jumping off for more information before I commit. So here's the interesting thing. I'm looking at this homepage. I can't tell what this company does. I can tell it's their birthday month. I can tell they have member stories. I don't know what guides are. I don't know what invite is. Plans tells me that this costs money. So does the birthday month message. Never overpay for flights again. Amazing deals, get alerts. Hello, Antonio. I can't tell what this company does. It can't just be a mailing list with flight alerts, because there's plans, which means you're paying for something. So I'm not sure I agree with her that they've done a great job with content here. I can't tell what this company does. Scott's Cheap Flights. Oh, okay, hold on. They've changed the homepage. Cancel. Google thinks I'm talking to it. Introducing filters. Filter your deals by months, airports, price, and more. Never overpay for flights again. We track airfare price drops from your local airport so you save on flights to your dream destinations. Sign up and choose your plan. Check your inbox for price drops or search for deals. Book deals. Okay, this is a much better homepage from the perspective of content. I'm not going to speak to visual design or anything like that, though it's got some decent visual hierarchy. This is a much better page. Now I know what this company does, and they've made the call to action clearer because this says sign up and this says sign up. On her example, this says get free flight alerts, which I am not too sure about that because I can tell from plans that this is a paid service, and this says sign up. So is signing up and getting free flight alerts the same? Not sure. So it's funny that she's using this as a good example. I thought it was a bad example, and I guess they did too because they've already changed it. Interesting. Plans, elite or premium. Can I click on plans and learn about both? No, I can't click on plans and learn about both. Also, which do you think is a higher level of plan, elite or premium? I think elite could be higher, but I don't know because both names are kind of like inflated. You know, both names imply super high. Premium. Get amazing deals to the best destination. Try it free. Join premium. Deals, deals, deals. Okay, but what's elite? Get unlimited amazing deals. So does that mean... So here's where the content falls apart. Because now my task is, oh, maybe I'm interested in this. I'd like to understand the paid plans. Now I'm running into a content problem where I don't understand these paid plans. How is premium different than elite? There are some hints in the content. This one says unlimited deals, and this one says even in higher classes. The other one did not use the word unlimited and didn't mention the other classes. So is that the difference? I don't know. I'm guessing. Good content wouldn't leave me guessing. All right, back to the article that we're here to talk about. So again, she likes it. I don't like it. Let's move on. Researching tasks. Your users are trying to get information that will inform a next step. Don't be fooled with these researching tasks. You still cannot expect anyone to actually read anything word for word. What? What? Your users are trying to get information that will inform a next step. Don't be fooled with these researching tasks. You still cannot expect anyone to actually read anything word for word. Again, I think this is where reading your own article out loud can help you say, oh, that's a bit of an awkward sentence. I'm not sure that's what I meant. Let me rephrase that. So again, some not great writing in an article about great writing always makes me a little bit meh. Research tasks are almost always a path to the next task. So again, I do agree with some of the things she's saying, but there's so much strange things here that I find distracting. I find her writing a little bit distracting, and I find her examples distracting. Here she says, Where is she? This is researching before making a decision. Is this for me? A high-level overview shows me key highlights at a glance. Okay, so maybe that was the way their website used to look. Step 1, add your airports. Is this the same 3 steps as before? Pick your airports, watch your email, book your deal. Add your airports, watch the deals roll in, book incredible deals. Now, it's interesting because she's saying her example here is good content because they're helping with decision making. But notice that since she screenshot this almost a year ago, they've added content. They've made these a little bit different and longer. So that's interesting. So let's keep going and see what her point is, because I feel like we're almost done and then the stream's over. Boom. And remember, if you want to send something in, just send it to deltacx.com/links and we'll do it on a future show. Also, remember to subscribe if you'd like to come practice critical thinking. Content supports research tasks successfully if words are kept to a minimum and easy to take in at a glance, presented in bite-sized chunks, additional tasks are supported in context. Content supports research tasks successfully if. Not sure I completely agree with her because we still have to make sure we've understood the task well enough to write in a way that is compelling and relevant to people. Remember context and remember meaningful, actionable, helpful. So I think it's more than these 3 bullet points, but you know, I'm not in love with this article. Let's see what else. Reading tasks. Sometimes reading's the reason someone has come to your site or app. It's rare. Before you go to town with sentences and paragraphs, make sure you're dealing with an instance where the task is to read. So that's usually going to be blog posts, articles, and that type of long-form content. I'm saying that. That's not in the article. In this case, digital content should still keep user experience in mind and support people reading. Use headings and subheadings. So we've talked about visual hierarchy on this channel. We have a lesson in the micro lessons. Pay attention to length. Gauge your audience's mindset. Is this a fun read or a need to read? Keep the reading self-contained. Unless your name rhymes with Blikipedia, I'm not too sure why she couldn't just say Wikipedia. People are not looking for links they need to follow to understand the context of what you're trying to tell them. Okay. The right words for your users' tasks. So I think the concept is okay. I think some of the advice I don't totally agree with, and I think the examples were a little strange. So I gotta know, I guess I give this one a meh. So. Anybody want to comment on that last article or any of the things that we saw today? This has been an unusually quiet stream that makes me think makes me think I'm not live. Okay. Well, if people don't have anything to add, remember to check out deltacx.com/links. Always up here. For our event schedule, we've got more shows coming up next week. Monday is Think Out Loud. Tuesday is Office Hours, Ask Us Anything. And then we'll be doing Friday Critical Thinking stream again. So please do send your stuff in. Oh, I'm going to sneeze again. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I think most of this stream was sneezing. Critical sneezing stream. Well, thanks to everybody who watched or watched the video later. If you do have a question or comment, you can always write it under the YouTube video after the stream is over. I do respond personally in most cases. It's really just me over here. And commenting, of course, helps us in the algorithm. So with that, I will wish everybody a good, safe, and healthy weekend. And I'll see y'all Monday for Think Out Loud. Bye. Customer centricity as business intelligence. Visit deltacx.com to learn why we are